North Korea, a nation often perceived as isolated, has quietly and effectively built a formidable presence in the digital world. Its cyber capabilities are no longer a minor concern. They represent a significant and evolving global threat. This is not traditional warfare with soldiers and tanks. Instead, it is a conflict fought with keyboards and malicious code launched from the shadows. The country's hackers have become a key tool for the regime in Pyongyang. They are used to generate income, to gather intelligence, and to project power far beyond North Korea's physical borders. Their actions have far-reaching consequences, affecting international finance, national security, and even the stability of global corporations. Understanding this digital army is crucial for comprehending modern geopolitical risks. The development of North Korea's cyber forces has been a strategic priority for the regime. Faced with crippling international sanctions and economic hardship, the government identified cyberspace as an arena where it could compete effectively, even with limited resources. It is a form of asymmetric warfare. This means a weaker power can challenge stronger adversaries by using unconventional methods. North Korean hackers do not need vast armies or expensive weaponry to inflict damage or steal vast sums of money. They need bright minds, computer access, and a deep understanding of network vulnerabilities. The state has therefore invested heavily in cultivating these digital warriors, turning them into a surprisingly potent force on the global stage. Their operations are sophisticated, persistent, and increasingly audacious. The impact of these cyber operations is felt worldwide. Financial institutions lose billions, critical infrastructure faces constant threats, and sensitive government information is regularly targeted, from the theft of cryptocurrency to sophisticated espionage campaigns against defense contractors. North Korea's digital operatives have demonstrated both skill and ambition. They adapt quickly to new technologies and defensive measures, making them a persistent challenge for the cybersecurity experts. The international community is now grappling with how to counter this threat, a task made more difficult by the secretive nature of the North Korean regime and the borderless domain of cyberspace. The actions of these hackers are a clear signal of Pyongyang's intent to use all available means to achieve its strategic goals. This essay will delve into the inner workings of North Korea's hacker army. We will explore how its members are selected and trained. We will examine the structure of their cyber units and the diverse range of activities they undertake. Furthermore, we will analyze the strategic objectives that drive these operations, from economic survival to military advantage and intelligence gathering. By shedding light on this hidden aspect of North Korea's power, we can better understand the challenges it poses to the international order and the measures required to address this growing digital menace. The story of North Korea's cyber warfare capabilities is a stark reminder of how technology can reshape the landscape of global conflict and statecraft. The creation of North Korea's cyber warriors begins at a remarkably young age. The state has established a sophisticated system for identifying and nurturing talent in mathematics, science, and computing. This talent pipeline starts in primary schools across the country. Teachers are under instruction to look for children who display exceptional aptitude in these critical subjects. These gifted youngsters are then funneled into specialized educational institutions. Gumseong high schools, for example, are renowned for their focus on science and technology. Here, students receive an intensive education far removed from a standard curriculum, designed to sharpen their analytical and problem-solving skills, laying the groundwork for future cyber operations. Once these promising students complete their secondary education, the most talented among them progress to elite universities. Institutions such as Kim Il-sung University and Kim Chaek University of Technology are central to this advanced training program. At these universities, the curriculum is tailored to produce highly skilled computer scientists and engineers. They are immersed in subjects like programming, network security, cryptography, and artificial intelligence. The training is rigorous and highly competitive. Students understand that they are being prepared for roles of national importance. The state invests considerable resources in these programs, viewing these individuals as future assets who will serve the regime's interests in the increasingly important domain of cyberspace. The selection process is not solely based on academic prowess. Loyalty to the regime and ideological commitment are also crucial factors. The North Korean government ensures that those selected for these sensitive roles are thoroughly vetted. They must demonstrate unwavering allegiance to the ruling Kim family and the state's Yuche ideology. This ideological indoctrination is an integral part of their education and training. It is designed to ensure that their formidable technical skills will be deployed exclusively in service of the state's objectives. The combination of high-level technical education and deep ideological conditioning creates a cohort of hackers who are both highly capable and fiercely loyal, making them effective instruments of state policy. This systematic approach to talent cultivation has allowed North Korea to build a surprisingly deep pool of cyber operatives despite its economic isolation. The early identification of talent, followed by specialized schooling and university education, ensures a continuous supply of individuals with the necessary skills. These are not amateur hackers. They are products of a state-sponsored system designed to create elite digital soldiers. The regime views these individuals as a strategic national resource, a key component of its ability to project power and secure its interests in a world where it is otherwise heavily constrained. The foundation for North Korea's cyber capabilities is therefore laid long before these individuals ever launch an attack, beginning in the classrooms of its most promising children. The education received within North Korea provides a strong foundation, but the regime understands the value of international exposure for its most elite cyber trainees. To further hone their skills and expose them to the latest global technological advancements, promising individuals are often sent abroad for advanced training. Countries like China and Russia have historically been key destinations for these aspiring hackers. In these foreign environments, they can attend universities, participate in specialized courses, and even work within technology companies. This experience provides them with insights into different network architectures, security practices, and emerging cyber warfare techniques that might be less accessible within North Korea's own controlled environment. This overseas training is not without its risks for the regime, as it exposes individuals to outside influences. However, the benefits in terms of skill enhancement are deemed to outweigh these risks. The operatives are usually sent in groups and are closely monitored to ensure their continued loyalty. During their time abroad, they are expected to master advanced hacking methodologies, learn about the latest software vulnerabilities, and develop a deeper understanding of the global internet infrastructure. This knowledge is then brought back to North Korea and disseminated within the cyber units, contributing to a continuous improvement in their operational capabilities. Some operatives may even engage in initial low-level cyber activities while stationed overseas, testing their skills and gathering intelligence. Upon completion of their training, both domestic and international, these individuals are formally inducted into North Korea's cyber units. They transition from being students to becoming active-duty cyber soldiers, ready to deploy their skills for the state. The knowledge gained abroad is critical in helping North Korean units to bypass sophisticated security measures employed by their targets, which often include well-defended financial institutions and government agencies in developed countries. The ability to understand and exploit international systems is a direct result of this strategic investment in overseas education and training, allowing them to operate with a level of sophistication that often surprises their adversaries. Furthermore, some North Korean IT workers operate abroad under various guises, often as freelance technology specialists. These individuals may secure remote work with companies in Western countries, including, reportedly, attempts at nearly every Fortune 500 company. While some of this work is legitimate freelancing, it also serves as a cover for siphoning funds back to the regime and potentially provides avenues for network infiltration and data theft. This global dispersion of operatives trained to a high standard and capable of blending into international workforces significantly expands North Korea's operational reach and makes it more difficult for authorities to track and counter their activities effectively. It is a patient, long-term strategy for embedding assets globally. North Korea's cyber forces are not a loose collection of individual hackers. They are organized and directed by the state's military and intelligence apparatus. The primary controlling body is understood to be the Reconnaissance General Bureau, RGB, North Korea's main foreign intelligence agency. The RGB is a powerful organization within the North Korean hierarchy, responsible for a wide range of clandestine operations, and its cyber warfare units are among its most effective tools. This military oversight ensures that cyber operations are aligned with national strategic objectives and are conducted with a degree of discipline and coordination. The RGB likely dictates targets, allocates resources, and provides overall direction for the various cyber units under its command. Within the RGB, several specialized units are believed to carry out distinct types of cyber operations. Bureau 121 is perhaps the most notorious of these units and is widely associated with the infamous Lazarus Group. The Lazarus Group has been linked to some of the most audacious and damaging cyber attacks attributed to North Korea, including disruptive attacks and large-scale financial theft. Another key entity is Unit 180, which is reportedly focused specifically on financial cybercrime. Its operatives are tasked with generating revenue for the regime by hacking financial institutions, particularly cryptocurrency exchanges, and engaging in other illicit online schemes. The division of labor among these units suggests a sophisticated and well-structured approach to cyber warfare. The operational structure likely involves a clear chain of command, with directives flowing down from the highest levels of the North Korean leadership through the RGB to the specific unit commanders. These commanders then task their teams of hackers with specific missions. It is believed that original members of prominent hacking groups, such as early recruits into Lazarus, have now risen to managerial positions. They oversee new cohorts of hackers, passing on their knowledge and experience through both formal training programs and informal networks. This ensures a continuity of skills and operational doctrine within the cyber forces, allowing them to maintain their effectiveness over time and adapt to changing technological landscapes. This centralized command and control structure allows North Korea to orchestrate complex, multifaceted cyber campaigns. Operations are not random. They are carefully planned and executed to achieve specific outcomes, whether financial gain, intelligence acquisition, or political disruption. The authoritarian nature of the regime ensures a high degree of secrecy and loyalty within these units, making them difficult to penetrate or disrupt from the outside. The rewards for successful operations and unwavering loyalty can be significant within the North Korean system, further motivating the operatives. This organizational framework is a key reason why North Korea's cyber army has become such a persistent and effective threat on the global stage. Section 5. Raiding the coffers, financial theft as a lifeline. One of the most prominent and critical activities undertaken by North Korean cyber units is large-scale financial theft. Facing severe international economic sanctions that restrict its access to global trade and finance, the regime has turned to cyberspace as a means of generating desperately needed foreign currency. These funds are then used to support the ruling elite, finance the state's conventional military programs, and, crucially, advance its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile development. Cybercrime has, in effect, become a vital economic lifeline for Pyongyang, allowing it to circumvent sanctions and sustain its priorities despite international pressure. This makes their hacking operations not just a nuisance, but a direct enabler of the regime's continued existence and its weapons ambitions. The primary targets for these financial heists are often cryptocurrency exchanges and financial institutions around the world. Digital currencies are particularly attractive due to their perceived anonymity and the relative ease with which they can be laundered and converted into hard cash. Groups like Lazarus and APT-38 have become infamous for their sophisticated attacks on these platforms. For instance, in February 2025, the Lazarus Group was reportedly responsible for a staggering breach of the Bybit cryptocurrency exchange, making off with an estimated $1.5 billion in digital assets. This single incident highlighted the immense scale and audacity of North Korea's cyber-enabled theft. Throughout 2024, it is estimated that North Korea stole approximately $1.34 billion in cryptocurrency alone. The sums involved are substantial. Between 2017 and 2023, experts estimate that North Korea illicitly acquired around $3 billion through various cyber theft operations, with a significant portion coming from cryptocurrency exploits. This figure underscores the success of their strategy. Notable past heists, such as the 2016 cyber attack on the Bangladesh bank, which aimed to steal nearly $1 billion, though only $81 million was successfully transferred, demonstrated their early capabilities and ambition in targeting the traditional banking system. The shift towards cryptocurrency reflects an adaptation to evolving financial technologies and an effort to exploit newer, sometimes less secure platforms for illicit gain. These operations are highly organized and meticulously planned. North Korean hackers employ a variety of techniques, including spear phishing campaigns to gain initial access, deploying sophisticated malware to compromise systems, and exploiting vulnerabilities in software and network security. Once inside a target network, they move stealthily to identify and exfiltrate valuable financial assets. The proceeds are then laundered through complex chains of transactions, often involving multiple cryptocurrency wallets and exchanges across different jurisdictions, making it incredibly difficult for authorities to trace and recover the stolen funds. This systematic plundering of global financial resources is a core function of North Korea's cyber army, directly fueling the regime's coffers. Section 6. Eyes everywhere, espionage and intelligence gathering. Beyond financial enrichment, North Korea's cyber units are heavily engaged in espionage activities. Their objective is to gather sensitive information from foreign governments, military organizations, and private corporations. This intelligence is invaluable to Pyongyang, providing insights into the military capabilities, strategic intentions, and policy decisions of its adversaries and other nations of interest. Key targets often include the defense, aerospace, and nuclear sectors in countries such as the United Kingdom, the United States, and South Korea. Information stolen from these sectors can directly support North Korea's own weapons development programs, including its efforts to advance its nuclear arsenal and submarine capabilities, giving it a crucial, if illicit, technological edge. The scope of their espionage is broad and strategically aligned with the directives of the North Korean leadership. For example, following specific pronouncements or indications of interest from Kim Jong-un regarding certain industries, cyber units have been observed to shift their focus accordingly. This has led to targeted attacks against agricultural research institutions, shipbuilding companies, and drone manufacturers. Such specific targeting demonstrates a clear link between the highest levels of the state and the operational priorities of the cyber units. The intelligence gathered can inform economic planning, help overcome technological hurdles in domestic industries, and provide leverage in international negotiations or confrontations. The methods used for espionage are varied and sophisticated. They include deploying custom-built malware to infiltrate secure networks, conducting spear phishing campaigns tailored to specific individuals or organizations, and exploiting software vulnerabilities. Once access is gained, the hackers meticulously search for and exfiltrate documents, blueprints, research data, and confidential communications. They are adept at maintaining long-term clandestine access to compromised networks, allowing for continuous intelligence gathering over extended periods. The sheer volume of cyber attack attempts attributed to North Korea, particularly against South Korean public institutions, reportedly around 1.3 million attempts per day, with 80% linked to the North, highlights the intensity and persistence of their espionage efforts. The intelligence gleaned from these operations serves multiple purposes. It can provide early warnings of potential threats, offer insights into the negotiating positions of other countries, and reveal vulnerabilities that can be exploited either militarily or diplomatically. For a regime as isolated as North Korea, cyber espionage is a relatively low-cost, high-reward method of leveling the playing field in terms of information. It allows Pyongyang to gain access to knowledge and technology that it would otherwise be denied due to sanctions and its own technological limitations. This constant probing and information theft is a critical component of North Korea's national security strategy, ensuring the regime is as well informed as possible about the world around it. Section 7. Sowing chaos, disruption, sabotage, and psychological warfare. North Korea's cyber capabilities are not solely deployed for financial gain or espionage. They are also used as potent tools for disruption, sabotage, and psychological warfare. The regime has demonstrated a willingness to use its hackers to cause widespread chaos, undermine its adversaries, and send clear political messages. These disruptive attacks aim to damage infrastructure, cripple businesses, and erode public confidence in targeted nations or organizations. Such actions serve to demonstrate North Korea's reach and its capacity to inflict harm, even without resorting to conventional military force. This projection of power is a key element of its asymmetric warfare doctrine, allowing it to exert influence far beyond its economic or military weight. One of the most infamous examples of North Korean disruptive cyber activity was the 2014 attack on Sony Pictures Entertainment. This hack was widely believed to be in retaliation for the studio's satirical film, The Interview, which depicted an assassination plot against Kim Jong-un. The attackers stole vast amounts of data, leaked sensitive corporate information and unreleased films, and crippled the company's computer systems. The incident caused significant financial and reputational damage to Sony and served as a stark warning about the potential consequences of offending the North Korean regime. It demonstrated that Pyongyang was prepared to use its cyber arsenal to retaliate against perceived insults and to attempt to censor content it found objectionable even within foreign sovereign nations. Another globally significant disruptive event linked to North Korean hackers was the WannaCry ransomware attack in May 2017. While it may not have specifically targeted individual entities for political reasons in the same way as the Sony hack, WannaCry spread indiscriminately across the globe, encrypting hundreds of thousands of computers in over 150 countries. It severely impacted critical infrastructure, including the UK's National Health Service, logistics companies and major corporations. Although the primary motivation behind WannaCry might have been financial, through ransom demands, its widespread and indiscriminate disruptive effect showcased the potential for North Korean malware to cause global mayhem, highlighting the interconnectedness and vulnerability of digital systems worldwide. Beyond large-scale disruptive attacks, North Korea also engages in more subtle forms of psychological operations. These can include spreading disinformation, attempting to influence public opinion in other countries, or creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. By demonstrating their ability to penetrate networks, steal data, and cause disruption, they aim to intimidate their adversaries and deter actions perceived as hostile to the regime. The overarching goal is to create an environment where North Korea is seen as a dangerous and unpredictable actor, thereby gaining a psychological edge in its dealings with the international community. These activities, while harder to quantify than financial theft, are an integral part of its cyber warfare strategy. Section 8. Evolving Tactics and Global Alliances, the Modern Cyber Front. The landscape of North Korean cyber operations is not static, it is constantly evolving. The regime's hackers have demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt their tactics, techniques and procedures to overcome new security measures and exploit emerging technologies. There is clear evidence that North Korea's cyber attacks have grown more sophisticated and impactful over time. They are increasingly leveraging advanced tools, including artificial intelligence, to enhance the effectiveness of their campaigns. This commitment to innovation ensures that their cyber units remain a potent threat, capable of challenging even well-defended targets and staying ahead of many cybersecurity efforts aimed at thwarting them. A significant development is the reported establishment of a new AI-driven cyber warfare unit known as Research Center 227. This unit, purportedly staffed by around 90 specialists, is said to operate around the clock. Its mission is to support ongoing cyber attacks and rapidly implement intelligence gathered from various sources. A key focus is the development and deployment of AI-powered tools for tasks such as generating highly realistic phishing documents, creating convincing fake online identities, and automating the discovery and exploitation of software vulnerabilities. In February 2024, Microsoft disclosed that a North Korean hacking group, Emerald Sleet, had already used OpenAI's large language models to refine their phishing campaigns, indicating a practical application of these advanced techniques. North Korea has also expanded its repertoire of malicious activities to include ransomware as a service, RAS, and initial access brokering. In a RAS model, North Korean developers might create ransomware tools and then lease them out to other criminal groups, taking a share of the profits. This allows them to scale their ransomware operations and generate revenue with less direct involvement in each attack. Similarly, by acting as initial access brokers, they can gain entry into corporate or government networks and then sell that access to other malicious actors. Microsoft recently reported that North Korean hackers have been observed using kill-in ransomware, potentially as part of such expanded operations or collaborations. Furthermore, there are indications of increasing collaboration between North Korean hackers and other state-sponsored or criminal cyber groups. Reports suggest cooperation with Russian-linked entities such as the Play ransomware group. This type of collaboration can involve sharing tools, techniques, infrastructure, or intelligence, making both groups more effective and harder to attribute. Adding another layer to this, in November 2024, North Korea and Russia signed a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty. This treaty includes provisions for mutual defense in cyberspace, cooperation in science and technology, and joint efforts to shape international cybersecurity norms, potentially formalizing and deepening their cyber alliance and posing new challenges for international security. Section 9. Conclusion: Cyber warfare as a cornerstone of North Korean strategy. In summary, North Korea's cyber army has evolved from a nascent capability into a sophisticated and integral component of its national strategy. The regime has systematically cultivated a force of highly skilled and ideologically committed hackers. These operatives are meticulously selected from a young age, rigorously trained both at home and abroad, and organized under the state's military intelligence apparatus, primarily the Reconnaissance General Bureau. This structured approach has enabled Pyongyang to wield considerable influence in the digital domain, an arena where traditional power metrics are often less relevant, allowing it to punch significantly above its economic weight on the global stage. The activities undertaken by these cyber units are diverse and serve multiple strategic objectives. Large-scale financial theft, particularly targeting cryptocurrency exchanges, provides a critical revenue stream, helping the regime to bypass international sanctions and fund its priorities, including its controversial weapons programs. Sophisticated espionage operations target governments and key industries worldwide, supplying Pyongyang with valuable intelligence and technological know-how. Furthermore, disruptive attacks and psychological operations are employed to sow chaos, intimidate adversaries, and project an image of strength and unpredictability. These actions are not random, they are calculated moves in a broader strategic game. The strategic objectives underpinning North Korea's cyber warfare doctrine are clear. Economic gain is paramount, serving as a lifeline in the face of severe sanctions. Securing a military advantage through intelligence gathering and the potential disruption of enemy capabilities is another key goal. Intelligence on foreign policy and military technology helps the regime navigate its complex geopolitical environment. Finally, psychological operations aim to undermine the will of adversaries and bolster the regime's standing. These objectives are pursued relentlessly by an adaptive and increasingly sophisticated cyber force that readily incorporates new technologies like artificial intelligence and forges alliances with other cyber actors. Ultimately, cyber warfare is not merely an auxiliary tool for North Korea, it is a cornerstone of its survival and its approach to international relations. It allows the isolated state to project power, generate income, gather critical intelligence, and challenge global norms in ways that would be impossible through conventional means alone. The continued development of its cyber capabilities, coupled with its willingness to engage in audacious and disruptive operations, ensures that North Korea will remain a significant and unpredictable cyber threat for the foreseeable future. Addressing this challenge requires ongoing international cooperation, enhanced cybersecurity measures, and a deeper understanding of the motivations and methods of Pyongyang's digital warriors.